Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new to this channel, my name is Tofumi and this is my channel where I teach how to sew, where I teach sewing tutorials. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to cut the flare dress with drawstring sleeves, as you've seen in my thumbnail. And to my OGs, welcome back. So let's get right into it. This is the fabric that I'm going to be using for the dress. It's a plain fabric as what you've seen in the thumbnail, and what I have here is 2 trousers of fabric. Now I'm just going to go ahead and fold my fabric. Now to fold the flare, because I'm going to be cutting the lower part out first, obviously. To fold the flare, I'm going to determine the length of my dress. The length of my dress is 40 inches, and I'm going to deduct my half length. My half length is 15 inches, so that means I'm left with 25 inches. Plus that 25, I'm going to add an extra inch to make it 26 inches. That is for turning at the lower part and for joining at the waistline. So that makes it 26 inches. Now I'm going to determine my waist measurement. My waist measurement is 27 inches. I'm going to add just 3 inches extra allowance because I don't want it to be too big and I don't want too much allowance. So that makes it 30 inches. 30 inches divided by 6.28 is going to give us 4.6. So I'm going to add the 4.6, that is my waist measurement, 4.6 to the length of the dress. 4.6 plus 26 inches is going to give us 30.6 inches. So that is how I'm going to fold my flare. So I'm going to measure 30 inches like this, 30 inches like so. I'm going to fold it into 2. Now that I've folded it into 2, I'm going to fold it all the way down. I'm going to fold it into 2 vertically also. So here is it. This is what I have now, and I'm going to do like this, just make a diagonal curve like this. So the first thing I'm going to insert is my 4.6 from this point. I hope you guys can see it clearly. From this point, I'm going to measure 4.6. Measure it at this point also and connect it together. Make sure that it's connected together. Then from this my waistline measurements, I'm going to measure my 26 inches length. 26 all the way around. After I've done that, I'm going to join the lines together, of course. So there we have it. If you are confused, I measure from this point to this point the waist measurement, that is my waist measurement plus extra allowance divided by 6.28. That's what I measured from this point to this point. Then from this point to this point, I measured the length of the dress. So now we're going to cut it out. So here is what we have. And to make it easy for joining for me, I had to open one side of the flare because everything was closed up. So here is what I have. Now let's move to the upper part of the dress. So for the upper part, I folded into 2 halves like this because I want, like I said, I want the shoulders joined with the sleeves, and I don't want to join them at the shoulder. I don't want to join it together at the shoulder. I just want to sew it straight like that. It's the same way we fold for buba. My half length is 15 inches like I stated earlier, and I'm going to add an extra inch for sewing allowance. That is 16 inches. I'm going to measure my 16 inches all the way. My shoulder measurement is 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. So that's what we're going to have here, 7.5. Then the sleeve measurement, the length of this sleeve, I want it to be 12 inches. So I have my 12 inches like this. I have my 12 inches like so. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to measure the round circumference of the sleeves. Now my regular round circumference is 12 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead and use 16 inches, or let's just use 18 inches. Yeah, let's use 18 inches. So 18 inches divided by 2 is going to give us 9 inches. And I'm going to measure the 9 inches here like this. I'm just going to measure the 9 inches here like this. And here I'm going to measure my regular armhole measurements. That is 8 inches plus half inch sewing allowance. That's 8.5 inches. so that we can have our body measurement on it. So my bust measurement is 8.25 plus 2 inches sewing allowance, that is 10.25. I'm going to make it 11 inches because I want to add ease to the dress. So just a little bit of ease. I don't want it to be too tight. For the waistline measurement, my waist measurement is 7 inches plus 2 inches sewing allowance, that's 9 inches. 9 inches plus 1 inch that allowance, that's 10 inches. So all we have on the waistline is 10 inches. And I'm going to join it together. Now that I've joined it together, I'm going to join this point to this point, and then I'm just going to join this to this. Can you guys see? So what we have here is the sleeves. What we have here is the upper body measurement. Now let's get into our neckline. The neckline is a canoe neckline, so that means it's wide and very and not too deep. So I'm going to use 5 inches for the neck width. You can make it as wide as you want. Then the neck depth, I'm going to make it just 3 inches. So that means the neck width of 5 inches and the neck depth of 3 inches. You can make it as tiny or as small as you want. You can even make it as much as 6 or 7 inches. Let's make this 6 inches so that it's easy for you to understand. And then you just make your small curve all the way. Yeah, this is what we have. So this is basically what we have for this, for the upper part. This is it. So I'm just going to cut it out. So here is what we have. This is basically what it looks like. The armhole and the body measurements, the neckline measurements, the front and the back, and this is it. This is what we have. So I'm going to join everything together and show you guys. So the first thing I did is to take in the darts, and that is what I have here. I took in the darts for the front and for the back. Let me show you guys. So here is it. Here is what I have. This is the back, of course, and this is the front. I'm going to turn the tip of the sleeves just a bit. Now the next thing is for me to match to mark where the drawstring is going to be. So I made sure I notched the tip of the neck here while I was cutting. I hope you guys can see it. Yes, this point. So I'm going to measure this place. Remember that the round sleeve is 18 inches, so I'm going to make this. I'm going to mark the midpoint, that is 9 inches. So I have 9 inches like this. So I've drawn a straight line from this point to this point. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to measure 1 inch away from each side. So I have 1 inch like this, 1 inch and 1 inch. Then we join it together. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. 1 inch, 1 inch. You may wait until 5. You know that your 50. This is what I have. This is the midpoint. This is half point. This is 1 inch away from the midpoint and 1 other inch away from the other point. So what I'm going to do basically is that I'm going to cut a 3-inch fabric that is going to be the length of the sleeve. I'm just going to cut it out and I will show you guys. This is a 3-inch fabric. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it in by ½ inch on this side, turn it in by ½ inch on the other side, and I'm going to stitch it like this to the main fabric. I'm going to stitch it all the way. Here is it. Here is what I have. I'm going to stitch it. Can you guys see? I folded it in by ½ inch on this edge, ½ inch on this edge. I stitched it on it. Then I just made a straight line on the center part. Can you guys see? I hope you guys can see it. I just made a straight line. So the strings are going to pass through this points. One is going to pass through here, the other one is going to pass through here. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to add shape to the upper part. I'm going to try and shape the upper part, and then I'll come back and show you guys. So I've gone to add shape to the upper part, and this is what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and iron it, and I'm going to join the flare to the lower part. I'll do that and give you guys a glimpse of what it looks like. Here is what we have, guys. Here is what we have. I've joined the lower part to the upper part of the dress, and this is what it looks like. Also, I just turned the lower part, the hem of the dress, I just turned it a little bit, just a little bit. And of course, I added facing to the neckline. If you don't know how to add facing to a neckline, please scroll down to my channel. There's a video about to add facing to a neckline on my channel. Here is what we have. Here's what we have. The final thing I'm going to do on this dress is to add the zip to the dress. I'm just going to add the zipper to the dress, and that's it for this dress. I'm going to show you the final picture of what it looks like. If you have any questions, please drop it in the comment section. If you have any requests, let me know in the comment section. I will see you guys. Bye.